The 9.1-mile Foothill Gold Line light rail project from Glendora to Pomona was completed on time and on budget in early January 2025 and opened for passenger service on September 19, 2025. It extends the Metro A line further east through the San Gabriel Valley to the cities of Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, and Pomona. Each new station features unique artwork designed by a city-selected artist or artist team who incorporated the history, culture, and natural landscapes of the surrounding communities into their designs.
The idea was to create an awareness for people. Hey, you should get out to nature a little more often. They live in such an interesting and beautiful place that still has a wild element to it. The nature abounds there, it sits right on the mountain.
They took us around to the lakes and this and that.
That allowed us to use that experience of hiking to represent the flora and fauna.
We based it on nature.
With the basis for the canopy, found out what the most common animals were. They start out with a lot of sketches and ultimately down to the 7 different drawings, and they'll be repeated on the other side.
We wanted to kind of pick things that people related to and knew a little bit.
After sketches, I'll make an enlarged drawing, the same size as the panel itself. So when I'm working into the clay now, I know how big the head is, I know where the nose is, I know where the ears are. And I use oil clay, which is a clay that allows me to work for a long time. It doesn't dry out. Modeling it in relief. It's going to be on a public platform. I don't want anything that's too sharp or sticking out. So I'll modulate my relief. Then we'll make a plaster mold off of the clay. So I build a frame and then I pour the plaster on top of this, and then in an hour remove that plaster mold and let it dry. And that plaster mold will be used to press the final clay that's going to be fired. After it shrinks a little bit and the water goes into the plaster, it gets fired for the first time. That's called a bisque fire. When Leslie suggested that we work with Cherie, that was really a wonderful collaboration. Her glazes were just so beautiful and natural. This is the result of that clay press into the plaster mold. She then will take it into the glaze room, and then based on our plans, she's going to select certain glazes she thinks will render what we want based on the painting that we've given her. At that point, they're ready for installation and just need to be applied to the cement. The color is what delineates the forms and enables you to, make out the shapes. When it almost looks like you're underwater, you're seeing the underwater and the sky at the same time. I thought that would be a great way to show the whole frog. The frog is really underwater, and you're seeing the seagrass coming up at this much of his head, so really all we would be seeing would be this. It's just sort of a camera trick. When I started looking at walking sticks, they were all so personal. Everybody has a different idea what they want to do, and they're all totally unique and creative.
You don't want them all the same, so they have to stand out. I think these need to complement each other, but not all be the same.
Right, all 4 of them will have a different configuration, just like a real stick or branch would. We're going to build an armature, which is an inner core skeleton of the sculpture. And then we will pack that up with clay. We have to work it into 3-dimensionality on a surface that is spiraling up. Anything that is relevant to that area can be embedded into that composition that goes up a walking stick. We will make molds, and from those rubber molds, they will make waxes. They then will recut those waxes where they can be poured. After the bronzes are poured, they have to be put back together again. They have to weld all these pieces like a puzzle. The next stage is to put the patina on. At that point, it's done. want it to look like it was carved out of a surface. If that's the case, there wouldn't be anything sticking out because everything had to be reductive. With clay, if something didn't work out right, I had to come back and mush it out and redo it again until it did work. I think I like this one a lot because I love history. Here they are picking the fruit, and then here it is getting processed, and then the train taking it away. We wanted this one to be a little more fun because it's the adventure stick.
It says wander, discover, wonder, windows of discoveries, and then the little doors down there, you know, that you can go up in the stairway too.
They go in and out of little holes and doorways. On the top here, this little cricket has his walking stick, you know, so he can have his adventure, and the bandana, something hikers might wear on a hiking adventure.
I'd like for them to realize that these are made by hand and sculpted by hand and appreciate the artistry in each stick. We just wanted to keep each one a little different, but this one happens to focus on recreation.
And we want them to be playful. This one's really about the beauty and the adventure, and the next one is about the flora and the fauna. The next one's about the history of the area. I just want them to see interesting images, and the closer they get, they'll realize that these are things and places that they can visit in San Dimas or in the area. It's here, you can find it, you can go there and have that experience.
My idea of interactive is people looking at them and discovering from one to the next the differences and what's going to lead them from one to go look at the next one. Well, wonder what's on that one. Maybe walk the platform a little bit instead of sitting. Just discover.
Not only will this work at all different levels, all the way from a child's level all the way to the 8-foot one, and from every different angle, unlike a museum where it's not touched. This is sculpture to be touched and to be experienced.
We hope you found this video informative and that it allows you to enjoy a deeper connection and understanding of the unique station artwork when you're riding the Metro A line at the San Dimas station. To learn about the artwork and other Foothill Gold Line stations, or to sign up for project updates, visit www.foothillgoldline.org. You can also follow the project at Facebook, Twitter, and iwillride.org.